don't get that email, will you please email me or Hannah? Welcome Preston Pugmire. He's a speaker, musician, and an entertainer. He's performed over 1,200 times all across the country and recently released a self-titled CD which won Music Performer of the Year for college and university entertainment. But he says, most importantly, a little bit of trivia, his mother can say the alphabet backwards just as fast as she can forward. Whoa. Who knew? So please join me in giving a warm Snow College welcome to Preston Pugmire.
All right, guys, my name is Preston Pugmire. Let's get into it.
Yeah!
Let me tell you, when I had you to myself, I didn't want you around. Those pretty faces always made you stand out in the crowd. Then someone picked you from the bunch. One glance is all it took, and now it's much too late for me to take a second look. Oh, baby, give me one more chance to show you that I love you. Won't you please let me? let you go, baby. But now that I see you in his arms, I want you back. All right, Snow College, how you feeling now this morning? Good, me too. Now it's still just a little bit tight out there, just a little bit tight. So I need every single person to just loosen it up. Just shake it out, just loosen it up. Like you right here in the flower and the glasses, I need you to like just shake it out. Oh, there she goes, she's feeling loose. In the back, you feeling it like this? Just do it. It's like 12:30 in the afternoon. So now we're all feeling loose, we're feeling good now. My name is Preston. On the count of 3, I want everybody in here to tell me your first name really loud. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah! Oh man, it is great to meet you. It's so good. I feel like I know every single one of you, like individually. It's so great. Now, we're all properly acquainted. We're feeling loose. We're feeling good. I need every single person to just kind of take a breath. Do this with me. Take your left hand, put it in the air like this. Yeah? Your other left? No feeling? Okay, nice. Now your right hand, like this, and we go like this. Oh yeah! It's good. At first you felt tricked, but now you're like, hey, this is kind of awesome. I keep it going for the second verse, trying to live without your love. One long sleepless night. Let me show you, girl, that I know wrong from right. Oh, that breath, I walk down, leaving tear stains on the ground. Following the girl, I didn't even come around to bring the chorus back. Oh, baby, give me one more chance. Show you that I want you, please let me back in your heart. Oh, darling, I was trying to let you go, baby. But now that I see you in his arms, I want you back. That's right. Okay, now go ahead and just take a rest, take a break, because I don't want you to wear yourselves out. I like a fresh crowd. Okay, we're gonna bring those claps back for the last chorus, and it's gonna be great. But in the meantime, I'll give you a little song. It goes like this. I want you back. I want you back. I want you back. I want you back. Everybody, 1, 2, 3, bring the claps back. Oh, baby, give you one more chance. Show you that I love you. Want you, please let me back in your heart. Oh, darling, I was trying to let you go, baby. But now that I see you in his arms, like ABC, or easy as 1, 2, 3, or simple as do, re, mi, ABC, 1, 2, 3, baby, you and me. Thank you guys so very, very much. That was so fun. I gotta tell you this right now. I play for a lot of audiences. Sometimes they can't handle coming back into the claps in that last chorus. They'll do it on 1 and 3 instead of 2 and 4. Not a single person in here did 1 and 3. Every single person in here was a 2 and a 4. So give yourselves a round of applause for that. So, my name is Preston Pugmire. I'm going to talk to you about next level leadership, what that means and how we can make music instead of noise in our lives. I'm going to tell you the things that I've learned through creating a 6-figure business, being a musician all over the country, and how I've just kind of shaped. These are soft skills. These are principles that will help in any vocation that you go into, just in life and relationships. And so, first of all, I don't want to keep you guys in the dark about what I got going on down at my feet down here, so I'll show you this.
This is a picture of what I'm looking at down there. Now, I built this, and it allows me to record what I'm playing live, and then play it back immediately, and layer and layer and layer and loop on top of it, so everything that you're hearing is done live in front of you. You guys are in college, you understand. I don't need to explain it to you. So that's the motherboard of everything. And so, who here plays an instrument? Who here knows about music? Who here has ever heard of music? Okay, there's still some hands down, which is a little concerning. Okay, we'll get to you. We'll get to you. Just open your ears, pay attention. We'll get there. The basic building block of music is a note. It's just a single note, and if you take 3 of those, put them together, you get what's called a chord. Those 3 notes played together make this chord, and it becomes harmonious, and it can be one of the most beautiful sounds ever because of how just composed it is within itself, and everything works out really, really well. So we're going to talk about the 3 notes of leadership that I have learned and how they work together. The first note is be a listener. Now, it might sound trite, or it might sound just like obvious. But think about it for a second. Who here has ever taken a class on communication, or speech, or the art of public speaking, or something like that? Great. So who here has ever taken a class on listening? How to be a very clear, active listener? You got like 3 or 4 hands up. I'm so glad you guys have it. Listening is so important. So important. Because if you're just communicating, but the people aren't listening, or if they're communicating and you're not listening, there is no communication. There is no speech. There is no relationship. So, we're going to go through that. Be a listener. The second one is be positive. What does it mean to be positive in your life? Might sound obvious. We're going to do a specific exercise on what that looks like. And the third note is be authentic. And when you play these 3 notes in your life, it creates harmony. And you can make music instead of noise. So the first note is be a listener. Now, in order to illustrate this, I'm going to ask for 3 volunteers. Now, before everyone rushes the stage, safety first, guys. There are some stipulations to this volunteer. It's not going to be anything weird or crazy. But I want somebody, first person, I want somebody who has rhythm. Somebody brave enough that's got rhythm. We got right here, hand up in the hat. Come on up on stage. There's a set of stairs on either side. You can choose it. Either way. Everybody give it up for our first volunteer. Somebody who got rhythm. Yeah! Nice. I like that. Tell me your name, bud. Justice. Justice? This is my friend Justice. Go ahead and take a step up there and stand on the stage. Thank you very much, Justice. Okay, the second person that I need is somebody who can play the guitar. There's got to be somebody, like, if I give you some chords, you can just play them. You're good on that. You can, oh, you're right here? Love it. Tell me your name, brother. Bryce. This is my friend Bryce. Everybody give it up for Bryce. Thank you. Go ahead and stand up there by Justice. Third person, we got 2 guys, get a girl. I need somebody who knows how to sing, who's comfortable singing. We got somebody right up there. Your hand went up first? Yeah, right there in the glasses. Go ahead and come up to the stage. I like her energy. Okay, everybody give her a round of applause. All right, tell me your name.
I'm Maggie.
Hey, this is my new friend Maggie. This is exciting. Let's give it up for our band, guys. Justice, Bryce, and Maggie. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, Justice, come on, step up here. You are our rhythm guy. So do you know how to beatbox? Yeah. All right, he does. Oh, yeah, Justice! Okay, so I'm going to hand him the mic, and I'm going to record, and he's going to beatbox. I'm just going to give him a tempo. So, actually, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful. That sounds great. Everybody, give it up for Justice. Wow. You picked the right person. Okay, stand right there. Okay, Maggie, we're going to have you come over here. She is on it. Okay, I'm going to hand you the mic, and we're going to just do some oohs and ahs. Something like, you feel confident? You just want to do it? Oh, I love this confidence, everybody. Okay. Right up in there. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay. That's on me. That's a little hot. Because I didn't have the mic turned up a little too much. We're going to do it one more time. Ready? Go. Sounds great. Okay. I'm going to have you play the guitar right here. Coming at you. Boom. Now play just like a 4-chord progression. Do a little bit like light. Play it just make it worse. Keep going. Yeah. Totally do that, man. All right. 2, 3, 4. And things are going very well, you guys. Things are going very well. We're going to do that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Nice. Everybody give Bryce a round of applause. Good, 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 good. Okay. Now, who here wants to hear what that sounds like all together? I do. I do. Now, when I play this, I want you guys to keep in mind that individually, they sounded great. The rhythm, the beatboxing sounded really good by itself. The singing sounded marvelous by itself. And the guitar playing, so great by itself, individually. In fact, let's give them a round of applause already for what they've done. Okay. So, this is what it sounds like all together. Here we go. You guys are generous. That is very generous of you. Let's hear from these guys right now. What did that sound like to you?
Terrible. Oh,
It's terrible. His words.
I can't use that word. My mom's in the audience.
He can't even say it.
3 different chords and not chords, keys, yes, thank you, I forgot the word for a second. 3 different tempos.
3 different tempos, 3 different keys. That is a really good way to say that. There were 3 different keys and 3 different tempos. And so it sounded like, I'll just go ahead and say it, noise, chaos, instead of harmonious music. You just said trash. You gotta be nicer to yourself, man. So, I'm gonna go out here for a second. Who has an idea about why that might have happened? Anybody have any clue about why that might have happened? Come on over here.
So they couldn't hear each other when they were doing it, so they couldn't match.
This dude gets it. Thank you very, very much. Give him a round of applause. Guys, what's the first note? Be a listener. they could not hear themselves. They couldn't hear the other person. Let me ask you this. If you could have heard the beatboxing or the singing, would have affected how you were playing?
Yeah, definitely.
And you, Miss Maggie, as well?
Of course.
There you go. Some people can't hear because I won't let them, because I set it up, because this is an object lesson. And some people won't hear because they won't. Because they won't. They're stubborn. They're prideful. They think they're right, so they don't think they need to listen to things that other people are contributing. They're dismissive. I'm going to switch it. I'm not talking about other people. I'm not talking about somebody who's not in this room, because I have been that person in my life. Who here has been that person? Where you don't listen to somebody because you think that you know. It's okay. It's okay to feel that way if you recognize it and decide to make a shift. Because when you do that, when I do that, it shuts down communication. And in that relationship, and in that moment, you get that noise. You get that chaos. And nothing can move forward. So do you guys want to hear what these guys can do when they listen to each other?
Yeah!
Yes. Let's see if this guitar is working. Something's going on. All right. Let's get the beatbox coming back up here. And I'm going to pull this. So this is what I want you guys to do, is this rhythm right here. Everybody give Justice a round of applause. Now, come right up in here and everybody give it up for Bryce. It sounds good. Let's take a step back for a second. Maggie, come up over here. That's all right. It's all right. I want you to just sing. Here we go. Is it too late now to say sorry? 'Cause I'm missing more than just your body. Is it too late now to say sorry? Yeah, I know that I let you down. Is it too late to say I'm sorry now? Everybody give it up for Justice, Bryce, and Maggie. Take a bow. There's a huge difference between what was able to be created when they were listening to each other versus when they weren't. And that's where communication happens. I've noticed in my life, in my business, and in my touring and everything like that, if I'm not listening to what the promoter wants, to what the audience wants, and I'm just coming in saying, I know it, and I'm going to do this, then everything shuts down, and it's just noise. So in your schoolwork, in your relationships, whether they be romantic or just friendship, listen to what the other person is contributing and what they want, and then you can add so much more value. Stephen Covey, he wrote a book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, one of my favorite books of all time, and he said, seek first to understand, and then seek to be understood. So how does this relate? Why am I even telling you these things? Because if you go through life and if you go through schooling deciding that you know and that you're right and that you're stubborn and just committed to being right, you're shutting yourself off from opportunities and from other relationships that could just be beautiful. Now, I'm going to go like this and go to the second note. The second note is be positive. Now, you've heard this so many times in your life. Just be positive. Just be positive. What if everything is going terribly? Just be positive. It'll change everything. I'm going to give you an exercise that will give you a really, really good illustration of what this means. So if you have a pen and paper out, cool. If you don't worry about it. You don't need to get one out. But I'm going to give you 10 seconds, and you are going to look at this picture, and I want you to memorize as many red things in this picture as you can. Do not say them out loud, and on your honor, don't write them down yet. Do not write anything down and do not say them out loud. This is just for you to look for 10 seconds and memorize as many red things in this photo as you can. Here we go. Boom. Okay. Now, you guys have 30 seconds to either write down or turn to your neighbor and tell them as many green things as you can remember. Ready? Go. Okay, stop. Just go ahead and stop. Stop. Right here, right back up here, guys. How did you do? I hear laughing. How did you do? I got somebody who did terrible? Who here thinks they did really good? Nobody. Now, if I asked you to write down all the red things, you think you could do pretty good right now? You think you could do better than the green? Yeah? Okay, let's have the lights go back down. Who wants to see that picture again? You guys want to see that picture again? Okay, look at this. What is it that you're seeing right now? Say it out loud. Green things. That's right. In this photo, there are actually more green things than red things. There actually are. You have the lights half back up again. Thank you very much. So, how come? How come you weren't able to see those green things the first time? Yeah, I set you up by asking you to look at the red. But what are you focusing on? What are you actually focusing on in your life? Why am I telling you this? This isn't just an exercise in memorization. It has nothing to do with memorization. It has everything to do with focus. We see more of what we focus on in our life. So in this example, the red is going to represent negative things, and the green is going to represent positive things. I challenge you, in every situation that you go into, with your work, with your relationships, with your family, with your friends, being at home, all of the different things, because this is a really, really interesting time in your life. A lot of things are shifting. A lot of things are changing. Learning how to find yourself. Learning how to be yourself. In every situation, I challenge you to focus on the green things in your life, meaning the positive things in your life. I want to be very clear. I'm not saying don't pretend that the red things aren't there. Don't pretend that there's negative things, that there aren't negative things in your life. Acknowledge them, and then focus on the positive things. It seems so easy to say, oh yeah, just focus on the positive. The red things are there, but so are the green. And then when you focus on those, the second time I put the photo up, who saw more green than red? It's because that's what you were focusing on. And the first time you saw more red than green. So this week, as you go about your life, if you find yourself frustrated, if you find yourself down, find yourself like overwhelmed, take a minute and say, what am I focusing on? Where's the green in this? Acknowledge the red and then shift it and focus on the positive things in your life. Because I've had so many things in my career that have been just downers, bummer things, going to auditions and not getting them, or feeling really, really built up about something and then not having it happen. But if you focus on what you can get and the things that are positive, it can shift into a whole different world. The second note of going next level in your life is be positive. So the third note is be authentic. Now for me, I'm going to tell you a story about me. I love Disney films. Who here loves Disney films? They're amazing for a reason. I love The Little Mermaid. It is my favorite Disney film. It really speaks to me, but not because of her, because of him. This dude, I love this dude so much. Who here has seen The Little Mermaid? Good. Now, one time when I was traveling and touring around, I was with a group of people that I was touring with, my musicians in my band, and we were in this, after a show, it was in this town, we went to one of these all-night diners. It was 1 a.m. You guys, who here has been to one of those all-night diners? You know what they look like, you know what they smell like, you know what they feel like. You're there right now. And we were there in the waiting room. A waiting room. It's not a hospital. We were there in the lobby. And I was feeling a little bit energetic from the evening. And so, thinking about Disney films at that moment, I actually just turned to one of my bandmates and I said, "Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who has everything?" Now, the guy that I was singing to was not as agreeable as he is being right now. He looked at me and he goes, "I'd say so. I think you do." The guy that I was singing to went like this. Not with him. And that made me go, "Look at these troves, treasures untold. How many wonders can one cavern hold? Looking around her, you'd think, sure, she's got everything. I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I've got who's its and what's its galore. You want thingamabobs? I got 20. But who cares? No big deal. I want more." And the waitress comes and says, "I'll take you to your seat now." The place is packed, completely full. And so our table, of course, is in the very, 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 very back. And the place is set up like a maze for some reason, so we have to walk past every single person through the crowd. And so we do. And I just keep singing, "What would I give
If I could live out of these waters, what would I pay to spend a day warm on the sand? So you can imagine what it would look like if somebody was walking through a crowd of people. Like, can you imagine that? Just like in an abstract way. Like, what would it look like if somebody was walking through a crowd of people singing? Like this. It would look a little bit like this. This is exactly what it felt like, just so you know. And as we're walking, people start to pay attention because there's this dude singing. People start to look. Oh, what's happening here? Betcha on land, they understand, but they don't reprimand their daughters. Bright young women, sick of swimming, ready to stand. And we get to our table. And at this point, people have started to take notice. Because there's a whole group of people. They've stopped eating. They've put down their forks. They put down their plates. I say that as though they were carrying their plates. They put down their forks. They stopped their conversations. I kid you not. Cooks came out of the kitchen. See what was going on. Waitresses stopped serving. Babies stopped crying. Phones stopped ringing. You get the idea. And as we get to our table, we're there. And everybody's waiting to see what's going to happen because there's still a little bit left in the song. And so I don't sit down, because at this point I'm committed. I stand up on the chair. I stand up on the table. When's it my turn? Wouldn't I love to explore that shore above, out of the sea? Wish I could be part of that world. And that's what happened. I actually got an ovation in the restaurant. Thank you guys so much. It was really cool. And then we sat down. We started to eat. And there were some people who were a little bit annoyed because I had just interrupted their conversations, or the cooks had stopped cooking their food for just a minute. There were some people who were annoyed, and that's okay. But there was one table of people who, they were across the way. They actually did pick up their chairs and their plates, came over, sat down at our table and said, "We don't know who you guys are, but we want to be friends with you." And so why am I telling you that story? It's in the context of being authentic. Boop. Now, in your life, what does that look like? Why am I saying this to you? Because I don't want you to come away from this story saying, "Oh, yeah, that would have been me. I would have done that." That's awesome. That's really, really cool, but that's not the point. The point is, if you are that person or if you are not that person, that doesn't matter. There's no judgment on that. Because some people, that is not their thing. They are being completely authentic, walking through the restaurant, not singing on tables. Almost everybody is, I'm describing every single person except for myself right now, just so you know. And so in your life, you will have options to put up a mask or a wall or a face and be fake a little bit, or try to do something, or try to fit into something and do something, or be a certain way that might not be what you want to. If you're like, I feel like I don't really want to do this, and then you do it anyway, that's not being authentic. Or I feel like I really want to do this, but I feel like I shouldn't. I really want
to, but I feel like I can't. You're not being authentic. So my challenge to you is, be yourself and be authentic. And there will be people who will be annoyed. There will be people who will be frustrated and not agree with your decisions. That's okay. Because there will be people who will pick up their plates and their chairs and come and sit at your metaphorical table and be enrolled in your vision. And if you sell out on yourself and don't be authentic in who you are, you won't have that opportunity to create that actual relationship. So for you, when you listen to people, when you really, really show up being positive and you're authentic, this can take everything next level for you. Everybody's heard the phrase, believe in yourself. Maybe heard it so many times that it doesn't make sense. Believing in yourself means believing that your ideas have value. Believing that your goals are worth accomplishing. Believing that you can contribute in any situation, and then doing it. Because you do. You are so much more beautiful and powerful than you really understand. Step into that power and be that person, because the world deserves to hear what you have to say. If your ideas are kind and spread love or build people up, they need to be shared. They need to be heard, because you deserve it, and they do too. So, I'm going to sing one more song for you. In closing, this song is called Helen. It's a song about Helen of Troy, the ancient mythology. Now, in the story, she was the most beautiful girl in the world, and her face launched 1,000 ships, right? Now, for me, in this context, that represented a girl for me, and I thought she was the most beautiful girl in the whole world, so I wrote a song about it. And there's a line in the song where I say, I could take Troy in one day. I could take Troy in one day, like the ancient city. And for me, that was analogous to winning her love. So for you, I want you to think about whatever your number one goal is right now. If it's financial, if it's health and fitness, if it's romantic, if it's relationship, if it's academic, anything that's your number one goal. And if you attack it with belief in yourself, with these three things, being a listener, being positive, and being authentic, you can accomplish those things that you are setting out to do. And you can really feel like you could take Troy in one day.
And Helen, I can see your face. And Helen, I can see your face. And it launched 1,000 ships. And my heart want what I can't have.
Thank you guys so very, very much. My name is Preston Pugmire, and basically, I love you. I want you to have a great, great year and a great, great life. We have just a couple minutes. So if there are any questions, then you can, there's a little Q&A right here. And if there aren't, then there is no Q&A. That's how it works. But I'd like to open it up if anybody has any questions about anything. Right here. He said, what first inspired you to change your life, to be a listener, to be positive? Beautiful, beautiful question. I used to be what scientists refer to as a douche. It's a technical term. And I had this experience where I used to put up a lot of masks and a lot of walls because I wanted to be a certain thing and I wanted people to perceive me as a certain thing. And I had a very specific experience at this personal development conference where I had people be totally, totally, authentically honest with me about what they saw in me. And I knew that they weren't just trying to be rude or trying to be mean. They were actually telling me what they felt about how they felt when they were around me, or the experience they had about me, and it rocked my world. Because the persona that I was giving off was 180 degrees from what I was trying to give. And I realized in that moment that people could see right through my walls. They could see right through this mask that I had put up. And in that moment, it was life-shattering because I realized that I had spent all this time, energy, and emotion creating this persona. And it was like glass. People could see right through it. And for you, I'll let you know that if you're trying to create some sort of persona, everybody can just see right through it in the same way that you can see through other people's. And when I realized that, it was one of the best moments of my life because I realized that I didn't have to spend any more time, any more energy, and any more emotion building up that facade, trying to be that person that I wanted somebody to perceive me as, because it wasn't working anyway. It wasn't working, and so I just let all of that go, put that time, energy, and emotion. Instead of putting up this mask, I put it into being real, into being authentic. So the moment you recognize that the way that you are trying to have people see you isn't working, spend energy being authentic, being real, and having real relationships with people. Changes everything. Thank you for that question. What's up? Oh, there's a great question. 3 years after I wrote that song, me and this girl, whose name is not Helen, we got married. Boom. And we're still together. And we got 2 beautiful little babies. Life is good, man. So be committed. Seriously, I just love you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you to Celia. Let's say thank you to JD in the sound booth. He made everything happen with sound. I really, really appreciate that. Sergio, thank you, thank you, thank you. Helping set up. You guys are absolutely beautiful. Go out and make things happen. Make music in your life instead of noise. Bye.